Hello everybody, how's it going? So I've been gone for a bit, but I've been not focused on any Minecraft mods as of late, but as you can see, I've gotten into Unity. I was in Godot trying to make this game, but I was running into a lot of problems with chunking, loading, and view distance, and a couple other things from my voxel game. My voxel game's right here. I have to rename it. It's currently named that, but for some reason my CLI didn't rename it yet currently. But I have other games that I've been working on, just here and there, as you see. I started this 3 days ago, this project. I'm very happy with what I got and what I've been developing. So I'm gonna get this started for y'all to see. I will be making other videos about the other games, but mind you, the majority of all of these games are foundational wise and not yet fully developed. I'm trying to build a community and build a YouTube channel and showcase this development methodology that I have discovered, and from what I found out, this is a new way of developing games, and it's basically, I believe, honestly, going to be a new economic trend, a new way to make money, a new way to develop things. And this isn't just for games. I found a way to do this for mods, obviously, as you saw in the other previous videos. Now for games, and in the next couple videos you'll actually start seeing actual TV shows, comic book shows, stuff like that. Toonami style. I loved Adult Swim back in the day. I'm currently 26, but man, I remember Adult Swim, and it was so good. I remember when I was I was 11 and watching all of that stuff. It was amazing. Anyways, so we're going to I don't know how to make the window bigger. I would. Oh. Yeah, I never really tried that just now. Anyways, I have it to where I have the loading. It's generating the world chunks. I don't really know how many chunks it should have been loading, but right now this is what I have. I developed it so it's controller based. I don't really like using mouse or keyboard that much, so any and all games I'm developing are going to be controller based. You can, and it will be implemented in keyboard and mouse. Preferably when I get the money, I'm going to be buying my old dad's player set, where you have like that keypad mouse where it has all those key binding keys for like MMO games, but I'll be using it for this too, and regular mouse instead of using the actual keyboard. I forgot what it's called technically, but anyways, this is my game thus far. It runs surprisingly well. It goes all the way up to 100 to sometimes 160 FPS, but right now it does stay at 90, sometimes go between 70 and 100. So I currently have 8 biomes. I have a desert biome. It does get a little bit laggy, which I'm going to be optimizing for. But this is what I built in 3 days. Mind you, I have to work a regular Walmart shift job full time, but in the time I have, in these next 2 days off, I'm going to be building it out more extensively. But I have basic blocks right now. Let's see. The foliage right now, obviously, is just a block. I haven't put much in the way of fidelity and graphics. Mind you, I am not a game dev. I don't know much of these terminologies. I am just a individual that has really been interested in AI and has extensively been studying what it does, what it's capable of doing, and created my own methodology. With that, I've now been able to make my own game. I've been able to do all sorts of things, make mods. Soon I'm going to be making my own TV show. My goal is to make a transmedia YouTube channel where I'm basically showcasing devlogs, showcasing how to build your own games, all sorts of things. I do not believe that this should be a closed source type of methodology, especially since other people are forming similar methodologies, but I haven't seen currently anything for 3D game development or even anything close to this, or even, basic. I've seen basic 2D games, don't get me wrong, with AI development, but what I've seen most people do is they use the chatbot, the chat layer. Like, it really doesn't make any sense why these people are using the chatbot layer. A chatbot layer is extensively meant for chats, not for coding, not for any of that, but they're making it as a gimmick. These companies are making it as a gimmick to keep you in that platform, but the CLI is way, way better. Codex and Claude Code is very, very good. One little tip I want to give you so you can try to do similar things is, do not, if you have both subscriptions for Claude Code and Codex, I'm spending $200 a month right now to do what I've always wanted to do. But I understand most people do not have that type of money to spend. I personally am spending that type of money right now because I only have a $540 budget PC that I got off of Amazon. It's a basic PC with a 3050 graphics card, NVIDIA card, with a Ryzen 5000 CPU. And the motherboard I'm not too sure of, but what I have is a basic budget PC, so I can't run any of the best agentic open source models. I could do this exact same stuff for free with the open source model. I just do not have a powerful enough computer, but I do know other people do. So this methodology is you could technically use this completely free and make a game 100% free. But I just don't have that tech to do so. So that's why I have to use the money to use some of the frontier capabilities. And I have to do that until I can build this channel out to get the funding that I need to build more stuff, obviously. But as you can see, I'm playing around. This is the world that I've built up thus far. Now, as you can see, it's an infinite dynamic seed, so this is one deterministic seed that I have. It generates infinite terrain, so I'll just continue flying as I'm talking so you can see that it is basically infinite. So my thing is, the way you use Claude, you tell Claude to specifically open up a daemon, essentially a back shell, to boot up Codex on the back end. So basically you're directing Claude to direct Codex in a specific way. You can tell it to use that specific model. Say you want to use 5.5 ChatGPT model in Codex. Well, you direct Claude, because I personally love the voice activation, because Codex doesn't have that. As far as I know, it doesn't have the skill where you can just press the spacebar and it records your words. Claude does. Claude, I can easily just hit the spacebar, spew out my thoughts. I'm not a very, I don't know the technical terminology. I am a very nerdy type of person, but again, I've never went to college for this stuff. I've never done a lot of this stuff. I mean, this is basically the first month of my game development trajectory, right? I have not been doing this for very long. But what I have developed is, I would say, pretty good. I'm pretty proud of it. But, again, okay, so essentially, back to the methodology. I'm not going to give you all of it right now. I need to do better, tutorial videos and stuff like that. Get better at OBS and stuff. But essentially, you direct and you orchestrate. You're the orchestrator director. Now, when you are making a game, do not trust these motherfuckers on YouTube that are gimmick YouTube AI bullshit shit artists. They are telling people to use 50 AI agents, do this or that, no verification layers, no none of that. It is truly slop. Just 100% slop. You cannot make a game off of one file system. You just can't. It's just impossible to make a game like this in one file with one folder. It's just impossible. You can have obviously one folder, but you cannot have just one file system, just have thousands or hundreds of thousands of lines of code and expect it to run properly. It doesn't work. Okay, so essentially, you go into Claude, give it a specification of what you're wanting done. And let's say you're trying to create a mod. Well, you direct Codex a specific way that you're telling Claude to do. So you're telling Claude to create a specific XML tailored specifically for Codex to implement for you. Now, it will send that XML to Codex. You can just sit back, do nothing, wait until it verifies, and then it will come back with the verification. Claude will audit, and it should audit the output. Majority of the time, sometimes Codex does one-shots. Majority of the time, though, it comes back with bugs or this or that. That's why you set up Claude as the auditor. You do not use Claude's tokens as bulk code generation. You use it as an auditor. Then, once you use the audit layer, and I've developed this a specific way, 100% Claude uses too much tokens, okay? In order to reduce that amount to where you're not, like killing your usage limit, you, specify you only audit. Sometimes you may fix certain bugs yourself with Claude, but majority of the time all of that's being done with Codex because Codex gives more usage limit. Even with the whole XAI Anthropic contract that they allowed with better usage limits and stuff, still doesn't matter. Codex is more usage friendly. So you go and you develop your own methodology, and you tell it to do this, do that, but you have to have verification gates. You have to have Git history. You have to have all of these verification layers, and because Claude or Codex will just delete shit that you don't specify. So you have to create a very structured way of doing things. And when you get to that point of structure, as you can see, that structure builds upon the layer that you built previously, and it continues, and it doesn't get deleted. It doesn't randomly delete a random file. It doesn't randomly degrade the progress that you've implemented. It gets you basically compound on your progress every single way. I developed that for the mods, and then figured out, well, if I could do that for mods, I should be able to do that for full game development, but it has to be precise, has to be planned out, has to be persistent, has to be disciplined, has to be structured. You can't just tell it, do 50 agents, do these phases, create this game in this specific way, and and then I go, leave for 8 hours, how these gimmickers are telling people to just leave their terminal, do nothing, and then they'll come back with a working game. That's just not how it works. You cannot do that at all. It's impossible. AI will never get to the point where you just leave and there's no human in the loop, there's no verifications, there's no play testing. You have to play test every milestone. Even small milestones you have to play test. And that's, in my opinion, taking manual game development, having to manually code, and implementing it into a role of direction as a game director or a directional TV show maker. Like you're directing a TV show, you're directing a game. You don't, like as a system architect does code, but a system architect doesn't just do all the coding. They have junior devs under them that they control and tell them what to code, and then they do all of the auditing, play testing, etc., right? I mean, as far as I know in game development communities and, how businesses work and stuff. But again, I think this video is going on for a little bit too long, but I think y'all get the point. I'm a little bit more talkative in this video than usual, but again, as you can see, it's pretty infinite. It's going good FPS. It sometimes dips down to where I don't want it, but eventually I'll fix that. I'll make better fidelity, obviously. I'm not going to keep this, unless y'all like it. I do plan on selling the game, and I do plan on making this an itch prototype, eventually when it has some more game mechanics and stuff like that. I can, by the way, so I should tell you about the game that I'm making. It's not just a voxel game. This is basically going to be Oblivion that's voxelized. We're going to have magic, we're going to have guns, we're going to have dragons. It's an infinite dynamic world where you're going to have AI native NPCs similar to Radiant AI from Oblivion and from Bethesda that they made Radiant AI. So the way I'm going to have it is you're going to have not audio, because I haven't perfected that yet with these voice models. That pipeline hasn't been perfected yet. But what I can do is text-to-text type of dynamic storytelling world where you can just do... I'm going to allow it to where you can literally just type in the game whatever you want to say, and then the NPCs will respond to you accordingly. I'm going to figure out a way to implement that, and that's the game mechanics that I want. This game is going to be a hyper RPG / Oblivion voxel game. It's going to be pretty fun because I've been playing games since I was 2. I don't like playing games that are basic, that are boring, not fun. If I'm going to make a game, I'm going to make a game right. I'm not going to just, make a gimmick or make something that barely sells. No, I want a game that people build a community behind. I want a game that's fun. I want a game that, one, people love playing, people love building around, building stuff, and creating things. And I believe this is a new era of game development. I truly do believe this, because if I, an individual that does not know how to code at all, has not went to college for this at all, and is able to make this, I think anyone can do this. And the people that even have the technical knowledge could do even better things. And that's the great thing that's coming in the next few months to a year or so. It's going to look, the game development ecosystem and the TV show and movie ecosystems are going to look so different. I guarantee you. Like, at this point, it's not a matter of, do you like AI? Do you hate AI? It's a matter of whether or not you will adapt with it and what's coming. That's truly the point of this entire era, essentially. The 2020s and the 2030s are going to be defined by AI, like how the internet was defining the 2000s. So I think personally things are going to change. But anyways, I have to get going. Hope y'all liked the video.